Well, welcome ladies and gentlemen. So this video hopefully won't trigger too many people. But this video is about Disney's first fat heroine. Yes. It's a video about an obese ballet dancer that learns to accept herself because of body dysmorphia or something like that. Essentially, the crux of it is it's just normalizing unhealthy behaviours. And it's primarily aimed at children and it's being applauded. Now, I'd like you to think about this because it's being applauded as representation, obese representation, fatty representation, whatever you want to call it. Now, we don't glorify or represent smoking and drinking to children. We don't glorify or do representation for heroin or cocaine, right? We just don't do those things directed at children. Why? Because it's unhealthy. As is stuffing your face to an inch of your life so you become filled with incredibly large sums of fatty deposits, visceral body fat, or the body fat around your organs. It's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. At all. And I can look at this from an academic perspective because I used to teach fitness qualifications, A-level, high school, I think college equivalent qualifications for you guys in the States, physiological, biological things, right? That was my forte. It's what I did prior to doing this, YouTube. Where do you think the name Mr. H came from? It was a funny play on word. So this isn't me ragging on fat people. You want to be fat all you like. I don't care. But aiming this at children and trying to normalize it and say, this means so much to me. That girl, that poor girl in that short animated film, body dysmorphia, is simply wrong. It just is wrong on every level. And if you could come up with an actual justifiable argument as to why this is fine, please do. I'd love to hear it. I genuinely love to hear it. Now, this isn't to rag on people that genuinely have a medical issue that keeps them from losing weight, right? But that's a tiny percentage of people. It is. Factually, statistically speaking, it's a tiny percentage of people. So to normalize this for the vast majority of people is just disgraceful. And to kind of claim that this is, well, they do. They outright claim this is representation. We don't glorify anorexia to children. And we don't glorify it for a reason. Now, don't come back with this nonsense of, well, supermodels are thin. No one's saying that the stick-thin anorexic supermodels are good. No one, literally. But a woman going down the beach and looking like Beachbody ready is absolutely fine. It is. We eat far too many calories as it is. We eat far too many foods where there is fat laden in there, transient fats. Just this disgusting little stuff. We're not educated on how to cook properly. I'd love to see Disney doing proper representation, teaching children how to cook. Give us an animated short that shows children the benefits of cooking things completely from scratch. A wholesome family picture. They spend the day out playing in the garden, going on a hike, and then they come home and then they cook a meal together. That would be brilliant. Completely from scratch. Make the bread. Do this. Do that. Love it. Love that. No, this is not good. It's not good at all. There will be no justifiable argument you can come up with that will convince me otherwise. It just simply is wrong to glorify obesity to children. It's not okay. And to sit there and be like, yeah, well, I'm fat and I feel fine. Yeah, of course, that's fine. No one's saying you can't be fat. But to try to normalise it as part of society is something which everyone should accept and go, well, that's fine. It's not fine. It's not fine to be overweight because it's unhealthy. And especially in the States, right? Disney predominantly is, a stateside organisation where it's heavily focused on, the American audience. America, it absolutely destroys your finances because you have to pay for your own healthcare. Granted, other parts of the world do via tax, even though they've got, social care and health from that perspective, but they still pay for it via the tax. And mark my words, I'm still pissed that, I know that I'm paying for someone else's health problems, which is just self-inflicted. And it is self-inflicted. But stateside, no. There's no argument you can come up with that will convince me otherwise. And look at this stuff. Fans praise Disney's first ever plus-size heroine in new film. I think the most egregious part of it is she's a ballet dancer. You can't be obese and be a ballet dancer because you'll break your bloody ankle. You'll break your toes. Have you seen them go on their toes? There's nothing hugely graceful about someone, you know, the size of a small whale prancing around a stage. There just isn't. I know some of this sounds harsh, but think to yourself, when you're angry at me, you're probably just angry because society isn't accepting your unhealthy behaviours. And we shouldn't. We shouldn't have to accept your unhealthy behaviours. Fans are full of praise for Disney's first ever plus-sized heroine in a new short film, saying that the character, and this is egregious as fuck, means so much to so many people. It shouldn't mean anything to anyone because there shouldn't be as many fat people out there as there is. There just shouldn't. This is not, like, there's nothing you can convince me to say that this is fine. Especially not to children. And this stuff is, this is wrong anyway, right? Because it follows a ballet dancer who battles her own reflection, overcoming doubt and fear by channeling her inner strength, grace and power. In the clip, we see Bianca struggling with her confidence in class as her teacher reminds her, tight tummy, long neck. Okay, you do have to look a certain way for certain things. You know, ballet isn't necessarily just a sport, it's also artistic. Her reflection in the mirror then shatters, symbolising the broken way in which she sees herself while living with body dysmorphia. It's not body dysmorphia to look in the mirror as a fat person and go, oh, I'm really fat. What planet are you living on? It's body dysmorphia when a muscular person looks in the mirror and goes, oh, I'm really skinny, I'm going to go and just train for 10 hours in the gym, right? It's body dysmorphia when an anorexic person looks in the mirror and goes, I'm really fat. And then stops eating even more. It's not body dysmorphia when a fat person looks in the mirror and goes, I'm fat. Boo. I just can't stop eating cake. Stop trying to change the meaning of things. That is not body dysmorphia. That is reality. She's fat, she looked in the mirror, and she saw she's fat. Not body dysmorphia. Not body dysmorphia at all. And like I say, she's a ballet dancer. She ain't going to be able to do what, you know, she's not going to be able to do what she's supposed to do. And it's unhealthy. To expect the human body, like her poor ankles and poor toes, to expect the human body to be able to do that is just simply just wrong. Absolutely wrong. And they literally even say, you know, there's even TikTok idiots going, oh, Disney have released a short called Reflect that covers body dysmorphia. It's not fucking body dysmorphia, it's just body positivity. It follows a plus-size ballet dancer who struggles looking at herself in the mirror whilst enjoying what she loves. You know what it should just be? It should just be like, yeah, but you're not still physically going to be unable to do that. You can still do whatever you want as a fat person. It's fine. Just don't promote it to children. It's not okay. Children shouldn't look at that and go, hey, it's fine to be mega obese. Because the thing is, this woman in here isn't a child, right? Obviously, that's not a child. But this is being marketed, this is for children. Can you imagine? Well, you can imagine, just go to Walmart. But like a 5-year-old as rotund as this. I mean, that's the biggest barrel I've seen since I went down a wine cellar. Like, Christ alive. It's not okay. We don't normalise anorexia. We don't represent anorexia. We shouldn't represent obesity. We just shouldn't. You come up with a valid argument as to why one is good and the other isn't. I'm fucking waiting.